Hi, welcome to this week's Tech Talk with Ratchet. This week we're going to be talking through what's in your toolbox. I'm going to be doing this by doing a walk through my toolbox and the tools I carry, things I think you'll need when you're out in the field. In the background we've got some of the team over here to ask some questions in case I don't explain anything thoroughly, although they say it's so I don't drone on about spanners. So on the first side, I've just got some spanners that I carry a wrap as well, but I find having a few of them in here handy. Some cable ties, always useful here of a situation. I carry some small screwdrivers. I mainly use these for adjusting the milk valve or the steam valve on a compact. It's also good for setting sensors for cup drops. So a really little handy tool to have. Standard file. Carry a small level, make sure machines are level in case you're throwing up any errors, and when we're installing machines. Top tip, paintbrush, really handy. If you're going to strip down a brewer, it's really good for getting those fine grinds out, as well as if you strip a grinder off, clean the top off, used for multiple things. Always handy to have. Pair of grips. I carry a soldering iron. It's not something I use every day, but it's very handy to have in your toolbox to get you out of any situation you need. Some long nose pliers, and an adjustable spanner, as well as some side cutters.
What would you use all of those for, Adam?
Just general everyday sort of things. I mean, these I would use long nose pliers quite often, as well as grips, adjustables for anything that the spanner size I haven't got, and side cutters, wire stripping, cutting into any cable, anything like that. It's generally handy to have for those things. So that's that side. Standard socket set. Carry, just gonna put everything I need in there. Martindale plug. I'd use this if I get to a machine and I've got no power. First thing I want to check is the socket actually working. Simple, plug it into the socket, two green lights will come up with a buzzer. We know that socket's working, so we know we can carry on working through the machine. Multimeter. It's got various things you can use it for. Mainly you're going to use the voltage and resistance, but obviously if you're using voltage, make sure you're electrically competent. I'm personally electrically trained, so I'm fine in using it, but if you're going to use it, make sure you're competent before you do, using safety procedures. This is auto ranging, so there's various types, but this type is auto ranging. What that means is I can just set it to a voltage or a ohm setting, and that'll pick up the range I want to work in, rather than having to set it to the range I want to use. It's also got a buzz function, which I find really useful. You can use this for checking circuits are working, switches, so if you touch them together, you'll hear the buzz coming through. If you get a switch and you want to check it's working, you can simply connect it. There's two connections. Switch the switch, and then I know that's working. So that's what I'd use that function for. I also carry Hoover, very useful for cleaning out fridges, and that one time you're going to drop canister beans on the floor. It's always handy to have, or if you've got the Evolve protein powder, it's good for cleaning things up. Always carry that with me. Look at the side, just got a tape measure. Oh, and some stubby screwdrivers, one of each. Again, not something you're going to use every day, but really handy to get you out of that situation when you need it. You definitely need it. This side's just some cleaning cloths and some tape. I've got a variety of screwdrivers. and some nut spinners. So the two main nut spinners I carry are a 4BA and a 7mm. Generally they'll be all the sizes you need. I also carry I like a ratchet screwdriver. Personal preference what screwdrivers you carry, as long as you've got a decent set, that's fine. I just like this ratchet style. To go with them, I've got a set of bits to fit my screwdriver. This has also got all the Torx bits in them as well. You'll find these on the Elevate, so it's handy to have these with you. So I've got a standard Torx screwdriver, but this will cover anything I come up against, any parts I need. Set of inclusive, colourful Allen keys, very useful for everyday Allen key things. Stanley knife. I got this one, obviously retractable blade. It's going to be much safer, so we can tuck it away, put it away. Safety first. I've got a thermometer. This is mainly used for barbecues on the weekend, but when in work, it's I use this for checking the temperature of the milk on the compact machine. You can use it just to check the temperature of water from machines as well, but I mainly use it on the compact if I'm not cooking steak on the weekend. Gram scales, obviously these come in a variety of different sorts and types. This is just the type I use. We're going to use this for setting up our gram throws mainly. Checking how much product we're throwing, making sure we're dropping enough product into the brewer or not too much. This will stop us losing any waste as well. So that's what I use that for. Very handy, must have bit of kit. I've also got some long screwdrivers that I carry, just in case I need them from a distance. Carry a voltage detector. Now, I find this useful just for checking through the machine that we've got some voltage. However, remember, you can't check for dead on a machine with these. It's not electrically safe, so if you're going to turn power off and check for dead, don't rely on one of these. However, they are handy if you're in the back of a machine and you just want to check something's there. I generally use it for that. I carry a small torch just to carry around. It's got a little magnet. I also carry a larger torch as well with the magnets on the back. I can stick this on the top of the machine, turn the power on, lights up everything, shows everything I want to use. Just another small electrical screwdriver. This one will check for continuity, so I can put this through some fuses and just check continuity rather than pulling out a multimeter. Just lets me know if everything's alright. As well as a small screwdriver, some new standard blades, permanent marker, pen, and a little notepad for anything I need to jot down, wiring diagrams, all that interesting stuff that you're going to take notes of. That's all there for that. That's generally what I carry. I'd also recommend a pressure gauge. This one's got both sides on it, so you've got 1/4 inch. I'd use this if I've got some slow flow errors and I want to check water pressure. So generally we'd be looking about 2 bar, but every machine manual will have the amount of pressure it needs in, so you can check against the manual what pressure you need and check that we're getting that pressure to the machine. So I'd recommend we carry one of them. I also carry some cleaning tablets, so because I use them every day, so always keep a pack of them, clean anything out before I get into any problems. And some lubrication. This is food grade safe. Make sure you're using the food grade one. You can't just use WD-40, it needs to be food grade, obviously, because it's going into a food machine. Get you a lot of sticky situations and prolong the life. If you're using it on your brewer and things, prolong that life, so I'd recommend you carry that. I also keep a measuring jug. This is handy for setting up levels and things, as well as on the H2O. I'd use this quite often just to make sure all my levels are where they want to be when I measure them out. So I find that's quite a staple go-to. I know everyone's got something they carry around with all their parts in. I keep screws, nuts, washers, some electrical connectors, some fuses, a bit of everything in this, so I know when I get to a machine, I drop a screw, if I've blown a fuse, if I need anything, I've got that on me as well. So that's what I carry generally.
So Adam, just tell us from a vending point of view, what are your top 3 bits that you would recommend? Obviously lots of people have spanners and screwdrivers and all the rest of it, but from a vending point of view, what are your top 3 items to carry? The
top 3, I mean, obviously you need screwdrivers, you need all this stuff, but I think scales is a must. You need these to set the machine correctly, so I definitely put a scales in there. If it's a fresh milk machine, you're gonna need a temperature probe. So if it's fresh milk, I recommend we carry one of these. Obviously, a multimeter is probably gonna have to be the other one, or a vacuum cleaner, because I just find when you get to a fridge, or you get something, or you've tipped over some product, or it's a real sort of helpful thing just to pull out the bag and go, okay, I can just sort that out, especially if you're in somebody's office and you've just tipped coffee on the floor. It's really handy to have than trying to sort of scrub around. And again, clean fridges and that kind of stuff is really what I'd be using it for. And a multimeter, because if I know I've got an electrical problem, I can solve pretty much every problem as long as I've got this. So it's how really handy to have. So I think they're probably the top 3, I would say. Obviously screwdrivers and sockets and those kind of things most people carry, and you need them as well, but yeah, I'm going to put them as my top 3 pick. Wonderful. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask or comment below saying what your tools you think would be your top 3 or really useful to carry if we've missed any. Thank you very much.